Going 18 in November, and just like many young people my age, we encounter various experiences when we are to do first steps several times, ones that differ from each other, unfamiliar, uncertain, agitating, sometimes difficult. There were times I asked, why can't all first steps feel the same so that they'd be easier to take? But reality check, it's not. It won't be. Everything I had to do felt that way. From doing homeworks, school projects, cleaning my room, creating research titles, and even joining my first ever pageant, which, by the way, had me dripping with sweat and hands trembling. To give you a glimpse of my experience, I remember the time when I joined the pageant during 10th grade and the feeling of agitation that came with saying yes to the challenge. Mind you, the only experience I had with pageantry was when I joined Little Miss OPSAS in 6th grade, where there were only 4 candidates. And yes, that includes me. More than that, I tried to have my answers memorized for the question and answer portion, which won me first runner-up. Kakaibang achievement, diba? Well, back to my 10th grade pageant. It was actually the first time our school was holding one, and I was in a daze constantly thinking whether I should do it or not, to take a step without the certainty of it going forward. Despite that, the only thing in mind was, why not try? It might just be the same as your previous experience. Another first step, a possible beginning to something I might want to pursue. I mean, ever since then, I liked watching beauty pageants. From learning the way they walk, the way they wave their hands, to reciting their winning answers and even trying to copy their makeup styles. However, as I wore my 4-inch heels, strapped it across my foot, and took the first step up that stage, I cannot seem to recall the experience I had back then. On the inside, I was panicking. I felt my stomach churning, my hands trembling and my heart greatly pounding, as if every ounce of certainty within me was slowly vanishing. Still, I tried to conquer the stage as if it is mine, and gathered all my remaining strength. I had to finish the steps and the routines I had begun. Unexpectedly, the night ended with me wearing the crown. But, just when I thought I had finished taking all my steps, another pageant opened the door for me to walk through. It came to be the time where my steps completely faltered, and I have lost balance to a step I thought already had momentum. Guess what? I lost. Not a sash, not a place, complete loss. And when I lost that pageant, despite gratefulness for everything I've learned and realized, there came to be moments of doubt, frustration, and uncertainty. It felt inevitable for me. I knew other pageants were coming up where I would represent my institution, and having lost that, didn't feel much of a great start, or at least the following step after the first. And so, I questioned myself if I was pursuing the right path. Was I really? Well, I knew it was a journey I had already begun, and there were no turning backs. So instead, I took a step back, not turned back, stepped back. I tried to see where I was standing, see where all of this would lead, and figured out how I can show up and take the next step despite recurring hesitations. I tried to find meaning with what I was about to do, and started small. But you know what? Even saying that statement actually felt doubtful, a little contradictory. Started small. Because small, it was actually one of the things I didn't want to feel when beginning something. Probably the reason why I didn't continue playing the guitar. Stepped to sing on stage, liked martial arts, or tried playing table tennis again. Because I felt small every time I failed the first step. And once I did, the ones that followed were only engulfed by uncertainty. Just like the ones I mentioned, almost with pageantry. Eventually, those missed chances dawned on me whenever I had to get back up again when I lost, or whenever I see others going far in those areas, knowing well I could have taken the chance to learn, to journey, to retake my steps even after multiple failures, because all it left me is the regret of leaving that first step behind and not pushing forward. I mean, it is indeed scary to take that next step after multiple failure, or after failure, especially in a fast-paced world where everyone journeys, where some steps taken might feel lacking or left behind. Because for some young individuals, we might perceive that the world is big enough for its uncertainties to overcome us, to the point we let it define the next steps we take. Like how I've doubted my paths and missed chances, completely knowing that some opportunities await for no one. Well, for those who have already gone through the uncertainties of life, aka those who are older and are growing older, the world may seem smaller, as who have already gone many and various paths, but has now less rooms for retaking steps, where aside from the pressure, the next steps could be driven by uncertainty. As for me, I am still a person filled with perception that the world is wide and it's vast, with so many to experience, yet is filled with great uncertainties, the same ones that eventually made some of my steps come to a halt. Regardless of that, I am also aware that I am a person in the process of becoming, and I am still figuring out who I am and who I can be by pursuing paths of leadership, deepening my faith by serving the church, finding the drive to pursue the glitz of pageantry, and building myself to be a person fully dedicated to others. Nevertheless, there seems to be this common setback behind all of this courage to try. And what do you think is that? Because for me, it seemed to be uncertainty. But was it really? Because after all that I've experienced, I've realized that lies within these uncertainties is the progress in every step we take. But believe me when I say that it does not come like an instant gratification. Sometimes, it is masked as a failed first step, like the time I sang on stage and was out of tune, but learned how to slowly not do so after a few years trying to sing in karaoke. Maybe it can sometimes feel like the wrong path, a wrong path that will eventually lead you to something greater, a path worth pursuing. And oftentimes, it may feel like stepping back, retaking a step, and reassessing yourself, like how I've done with pageantry before I took the next steps forward. From there, I've realized that the journey of the first step doesn't remain consistent and balanced and always continuous. Sometimes, it pushes us to reroute, to choose despite doubt and indecision, to retake a step and to start again. It can make us question our path, our strength, our resilience, our abilities, and most especially the certainty of where we are heading. But surely, what is to come after may not be clear at the beginning. There is something certain about every uncertain step taken. The first stride forward is only the start. With will and perseverance, beginning becomes not just about the destination, as it never promises a linear and continuous journey. But indeed, it is a great way of progress, a catalyst for becoming, and a journey of overcoming the uncertain. Whether we perceive the world as big or uncertain, or as small and requires our cautiousness, whether it is to take a step in a 4-inch heel across the stage, or to walk grasping the path with your bare foot, every journey begins, continues, and creates progress the same way, by overcoming the first step forward. Thank you.